Yeah, I'm still early. Unbelievables. Where am I? I think I'm over here. Okay, let me make sure that we have sound. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. And I think we are streaming in vertical and horizontal. I think it may be working. Sound. If anybody wants to check that out for us and let me know, let me know. So if you're watching us on the vertical stream in the shorts and you want to move over to the horizontal stream, then you need to come over to the horizontal stream. Just go to the channel. And if you're discovering us from the shorts feed, welcome, welcome. Subscribe, like, hit that bell for all notifications. And we do true crime and a whole lot more on this channel. So, and I want to make sure that this is going to be loud enough for everybody here. And let me just check my output because Scooter's got me upset about that and thinking, is that okay? Yeah, it should be good. Should be good. And Mr. Electric, too. Mr. Electric, I haven't had the chance to email you yet because I went out with Ethan today. Ethan's going to be going back to college, and we had to bring his truck in to the dealership because being that he bought it there, he gets all of his oil changes and everything free of charge. So brought it down there, and we were there for like an hour and a half. I had a call with Evie, and here's what I meant to do. I brought my AirPods, and I said, well, I'll sit in there because we're going to be there for like an hour or something, right? And I'll listen to the trial. Now, before we left, I had listened to the opening statements for the Brendan Banfield trial. And I had listened to some of Caneiro's testimony on the way down. Ethan and I were talking, listening to music. And then when we got to the dealership, I go to get my AirPods out of my bag, and they're dead. And I'm like, what? Right. So instead, I was going through, oh my gosh, I don't know whether if they were shorts on Instagram. I know there were some on YouTube, but I know there were definitely some on Instagram because I was sending some to Jimmy because there was this guy, right? And he's a dad, and he's got like a cup of coffee, and it looks like he just rolled out of bed, right? And he says something like, oh, he goes, when I was 16 years old, you know, I was stealing my grandmother's car to go out joyriding. He goes, but now I'm watching my 16-year-old take out the garbage because it's a little bit dark outside. Oh my gosh. And then there were just a bunch of funny, stupid things that I got, and then I was going through. Anyway, I just feel like I have a lip gloss or something up here that's crazy. So, let's talk about, I'm trying to think about so I'm going to tell you what happened. Today, I guess the majority of my attention was on the Banfield trial. In fact, okay, then Ethan and I went some places. We had to meet someone, and then we came home, right? So on the way home, I was going to put the don't put the let's listen to music and do this. So I was like, okay. So we did that, and I got home. Then I finished up with the au pair's testimony. And I listened to the 911 call and a little bit of the medical examiner. So I've almost caught up completely. And like I told you, I had the opening statements. Now, with Caneiro, right now, like, it's, I think what a lot of people are like are lost on it, because it's just regurgitating, and it's worse when like the defense does their cross, just over and over and over again of the financial fraud. So they're being that it's going to be so many weeks, we're going to hammer that into the ground. So I thought, yeah, let me take it to the Banfield trial. And then Michael McKee, there has been more stuff that's come out there. There's been a lot of stuff, I'll tell you right now, that's not verified. That, okay, for instance, you can find circulating out there that allegedly he was arrested in a Chick-fil-A parking lot. Now, there have been people that have called that Chick-fil-A, and that is denied. There have been multiple people who have called that Chick-fil-A, and that has been denied. It is not in any of the police documents, okay? It could be true, it could not be true, but it's just stuff that's circulating out there. But there are people all over the internet, some of them are saying, oh, I saw it, I couldn't get my camera out and film it, blah, 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 blah. So who knows if it's true, if it's not, does it really matter? If it was Chick-fil-A, if it was Burger King, or at his residence. Another thing circulating is the malpractice lawsuit. That has some more credibility because those have really been obtained by a media source. So we are going to go over that. And that's about a catheter breaking off in someone's leg. And apparently, I'm going to go into it a little further, but just from what I glanced at it, apparently he's being sued because he was supposed to have trained the person that did this or something, and then they looked for him and they said that he had disappeared. But that was in Las Vegas. And then after that is when he allegedly moved to Illinois, and he bought allegedly a penthouse in that, but it was only $400,000 for their penthouse. So it's, not much of a penthouse, right? If you did that in New York City, you'd be spending millions. Anyway. And the other kind of rumor things that are going around is that he picked the lock. Well, I believe it was the digital lock, so not you're picking that, but you could play with that, whatever. Another rumor that's circulating out there, again, with it's not verified at all, is that he was in that area from around Christmas time. And but then people are going at each other saying, well, wait a minute, I thought he was estranged from his family. Why would he be with his family for so long? And I thought his parents were dead. No, his parents are dead. They're alive. No, he's adopted. No, he's not adopted. So it's just craziness around that all. Hi, MSL. Yes, I've been feeling better for a few days now. Yep. I started, you're feeling better when you're cleaning and everything. I think that was like on Saturday or something. I don't even know what today is. Today is, oh my gosh, today is Tuesday? Today is Tuesday. So I went around with Ethan. Hi, B-Lady Apiary. How are you today? Okay. So I don't know how many people are watching the au pair trial. I think a lot of people are watching the au pair trial, probably because it's a little bit salacious with, some of the content, though they're not showing the pictures and they're not really showing the messages. You know what I did find a little bit interesting, let's put it that way, is that they did show a picture which showed some rope, some chain, and a knife. And the knife literally looked like a cake knife, okay? It was not the kind of knife that you would stab anyone with. It had no pointed edge. The edge was rounded off. It was like a cake knife, but it was wider, a little wider than a cake knife, but like that, okay? It wasn't, and they did show that picture today, and he said, was Brendan. They were asking the au pair in her testimony, and they said, did Brendan see this picture? Did he have any problems? And she said, yeah, he had a problem with the knife. And he said, that's not the kind of knife, we're looking for like a pointy knife, right? So, B-Lady Apiary, I usually watch the trial. Okay, I'll tell you something, B-Lady Apiary. You know what a pet peeve of mine is? If I'm watching a trial and someone keeps cutting in, I will literally go out of my mind. Or if I'm watching a trial and they're not showing the whole trial. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes court TV can be good. They show the whole trial. But there's sometimes when court TV wants to show you like the excerpts, and then so they're telling you what's important. I don't need somebody to tell me what's important, and I don't want somebody to tell me what someone just said, and because that's what I want to do, okay? So it drives me crazy. So Law and Crime usually lets the trials play, so they're the first choice if they have it. But sometimes I'm going to tell you, don't get yourself caught up in the freaking side chat there, because in that one especially, there are so many freaking trolls in there. Do not understand trials, and they'll go like this, like who was ever up there? Let's just say it's a guy named Bernie, right? Bernie's innocent. And it could be the guiltiest guy around, but they'll be like, Bernie's innocent. Free Bernie like 100 times. And a lot of times their moderators don't do anything to get rid of this. And then you'll have some people that are regulars, and they'll start to like argue with these people, and it just gets so annoying. I don't really watch side chat either, because if I watch side chat, I can't concentrate on the trial. A lot of times when I'm listening to a trial, I'm doing something. So maybe I have it on here, but I'm cleaning the kitchen, so I want to hear it. So then the side chat doesn't bother me. I just expand it and get rid of the side chat. The other thing that I find, sometimes the local network for that jurisdiction, that like, let's say, the ABC affiliate, the CBS affiliate, the Fox affiliate, go ahead and watch it there. They'll show it from beginning to end. So yeah, just look, if you're going to look, usually they're on Law and Crime. They are on Court TV. You only have to watch out. Sometimes Court TV kind of puts a whole bunch of stuff in there. So just make sure that it's the trial. And then the other thing is, look for another affiliate. Just make sure it has the call letters of a channel, and then it's usually good. But that's what I usually do. I use wireless earbuds. I'm all over the kitchen. Yeah, because that's what you just want to hear it. You just want to hear it. You want to hear it and absorb it, because even when you're doing something, and sometimes you don't think you're absorbing so much of it, and then it's like you're regurgitating like crazy, because you are. But okay, so and sometimes I take notes. I used to take like copious notes like crazy and notebooks. People remember me from back in the day, and I would just sit here and read my notebooks full of I took down like every word. I started to do that a little bit in the opening statements. I'm going to pull up my notes here. I take them in my computer now here, but then Ethan said, Mom, we got to go. So I said, okay. But I did do most of the opening statements for Brendan Banfield. So I guess I'll start with that. So the prosecution went first, and they said that Brendan and Christine were the couple in the home, and that Brendan worked for the IRS, and Christine was a registered nurse, and they had a little girl, Valerie, age 4. I believe she was 4.5. Now, Juliana, and this is funny, her last name is like Megalese, but I swear that the defense attorney called her Megalize. And then I'm thinking of that's something, right? Megalize, right? Megalese. Well, Juliana was an au pair from Brazil that came over when she was 21 to this family. They had an au pair before her. I don't know where the au pair was from before her. But she came over in 2021. The murders happened in 2023. And you know what else I noticed? And it's easy to misspeak, but it was about key things. The prosecutor misspoke, and I wrote about like the year that this happened, said 2022 instead of 2023. And then the defense attorney said, what did he, I wrote it down. He said something like, let me see, I'll tell you when I get there. So I just, it's curious when he said something about Brendan Ryan. Let me see, or something. He used the guy that was killed, but he used the wrong name. Or when he was talking about Brendan, he said Joe Banfield. I think that's what he said. Okay, but let's go back on. There's my ADD taking away again. So in the au pair came over in October of 2021, and they said by the fall of 2022, they were in love. And they being Juliana, the au pair, and Brendan, the husband in this family, right? And divorce was not an option. And it wasn't an option because, number one, they said Brendan did not want to share custody of Valerie. And the other thing is, he didn't want Christine to have any custody. He said she was a terrible mother. This is what he said. And he had thought of hiring a hitman and things like that, but he was worried that it would come back on him. So what they were going to do is him and Juliana were going to create these accounts in Christine's name, but her name was Anastasia, is the name they used for her in this FetLife, I guess, community. Okay, now this FetLife community is all about BDSM. Okay, I think you guys know what that is, right? So what they were doing is they created this fake profile, Anastasia, which is supposed to be Christine, so that if anybody goes back and looks at this, it's on her device. And I don't know exactly how they kept her from seeing this on her device. Okay, but they had these emails going back and forth, and they were talking to potential men, because the idea of what they were going to do was that they were going to find a suitable man and tell this man, posing as Anastasia, who's Christine, right, that she has a fantasy. And the fantasy is she wants someone to come into her house. She wants him to forcibly tie her down, restrain her, bring a knife, and violate her forcefully, okay, the R word. That's what she wants. That's her fantasy. And she doesn't want them to stop no matter what. And so they start interviewing, if you will, candidates. And as you can imagine, there's a little bit pushback on this, right? And but they eventually get this guy, Joseph Ryan. And, he's like, at first he's like, hey, shouldn't we meet somewhere like, a public place, maybe grab a coffee, see if we have this chemistry before I'm going into your house and doing this. And I'm just, he was a little bit worried, like, well, what's going to, something could happen. And so he was like a little bit of pushback, but eventually they convinced him enough to do this. And they said the door was going to be unlocked, and And then he sent a picture. He sent a picture of those things they told him, the rope and the chain and the knife. And Brendan was really upset because it looked more like a cake knife. And he said, I was expecting something pointier. So that wasn't a good thing. Now, so they spent weeks doing this to find the right person. And January 24th of 2023, that's when they started to hone in on Joe Ryan's the right guy. So then Brendan bought Juliana a gun, and he took her to the shooting range, and he taught her how to use it, okay? And they got Joe fully on board. And then Brendan created this narrative, okay, for Anastasia, Christine, that she wanted to be AR'd, come in, the door is open, tie me up, cut my clothes off. They told Joe to leave his phone in the car, to bring the knife, zip ties, chains. He was not to stop, even if she said that. That's all part of what she wants. Just really laying this out for this guy. And then they planned that Brendan started to leave for work earlier. And so it wouldn't seem out of place. He started to do this weeks before. And he started to go to places for breakfast because he didn't want it to seem like, oh, he just went that day to McDonald's, right? So for weeks before that, he started to leave earlier for work and go different places for breakfast. And so the day that they did this, which was, let me see here, I'm looking at my notes here. This was, I believe it was February 24th, right? Yes, February 24th, 2023. That's the day that this all went into action. And so Brendan created a plan. It's a fake plan that Juliana and Valerie would be going to the zoo that day. And apparently, Christine had been scheduled to work that day. And somehow, I just don't understand how they would make sure that Christine was going to be in bed at that time. What if she just decided to get up early I don't know. That was just pretty amazing. But, or said, I can't take that day off, because they got her to take that day off. And then Juliana and Valerie had a ruse that they were going to the zoo, but they would never go to the zoo. They would get ready, they would get in the car, and what would happen was, and it was really weird, okay? I'm going to tell you this, really weird. This guy is coming over really, really early in the morning. And what if the guy just said, oh my gosh, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, but anyway, he apparently, sticks with the deal. And he gets there. And that's when Juliana, they took the other part of the plan there. They took Christine's cell phone. They got this from her too, which I don't know, would she ever, where's my cell phone? Where's my cell phone? And they put it in a kitchen drawer so that she wouldn't have it. She would not be able to call for help. And you had Brendan waiting at McDonald's, and you had Juliana in the car. Now, the signal is that when this guy, Joe Ryan, goes right into the house, and that's when Juliana, who's just leaving, says she first calls Christine's phone to make it look, they had all this stuff, they thought about certain things, but then they didn't think about other things, right? So she was first going to call Christine's phone, which she did, to make it look like, hey, Christine, someone's in the house. And then she's going to say she couldn't get Christine. So then she calls Brendan, who's at that McDonald's, right? And she's like, Brendan, there's someone there. There's someone at the house. Now, you might say, why didn't she call the police, right? They didn't. Brendan comes home, and Juliana's never left. So allegedly they go in through the basement or something, and they leave Juliana down there with something on a tablet and they allegedly run up to the room, and Brendan opens the door, and apparently they said, was this guy Joe Ryan really surprised to see you? Now, I just don't understand. Some things don't make sense to me. Like what was Christine saying? Whatever at this point. Anyway, they immediately shoot Joe Ryan, and they both shoot him. In fact, Brendan says he shot him, but he tells Juliana to shoot him again with her gun. And then Brendan goes and stabs Christine in the neck several times. And while this is going on, Juliana, the au pair, she's supposed to call 911, but she calls too early. And I guess there's too much background noise or something. So Brendan's like, right, So she hangs up. And then minutes later, they call. He calls back, and oh my gosh, you listen to this 911 call from Brendan. I wonder if they have that there. Let me see. He doesn't sound concerned at all in the call. Not even, he couldn't even feign concern, for his wife at all. It was just really, really bad. And then he's sitting in court, dabbing at his eyes, and he's crying allegedly about this. They keep telling him, and the dispatcher doesn't understand. She keeps thinking that the au pair in the background is Christine. So she keeps telling her, like, oh, calm down, I'm going to get you, put some stuff on your wound and this and that. And he doesn't even sound like he's in the same room anymore. And he's like, she's non-responsive. And they're like, was she not breathing or non-responsive? And it was just, let me see here. Trying to see about something. Okay, well, I wanted to see something. So he doesn't sound credible at all. Like, I mean, even if you didn't believe her, he says she has a very big hole in her neck. Okay, let me see if this is the call. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to see if it.
I need help. My friend, she just was stuck on the knife now. She's bleeding a lot. I don't know what to do anymore.
Okay, where are you located? What's your address?
This is the au pair.
Take a deep breath for me. Just let me know your address. Okay, 1-3. Take a deep breath for me. You're on Stablebrook Way? Are you on Stablebrook Way? What's your house number? Is there somebody else there that can give me the address?
13230 Stablebrook Way.
Okay. And what's your name and what's going on?
My name is Brendan Banfield.
Okay, she called the second time too. I had that wrong. Sorry about that. And then he gets on the phone.
I'm a federal agent. This is my house.
Federal agent.
There's somebody here. I shot him. He stabbed her. She's bleeding. She got several marks on her neck. What do I do?
Okay. So what I need you to do
What do I
is
do?
apply direct pressure directly to where she's bleeding from, okay? And if it becomes, just add more cloth to what is already there. How old is the person?
I don't know.
I don't
The
know.
person that's bleeding?
37.
Okay.
He sounds really concerned about his wife, doesn't he?
Okay, so the person that you shot, where is he?
I don't know him.
Okay, where
don't
is
know
he
him.
though?
We didn't ask you if you knew him.
He's here. He's on the ground.
See, he's already defensive. That's a sign, right? Because the person that he shot, where is he? I don't know him. We didn't ask you if you freaking know him.
Okay. Okay. And the person that he stabbed, where are they now? Are they still there? I have to come to you.
He's bleeding. My wife.
This is what I understand. This is what to do.
Okay. So I want you to get a clean cloth and apply direct pressure to where you're bleeding from, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you the one that's bleeding? Just keep
See,
applying pressure. Don't
she
remove
thinks
it. If
that
you
the
come
au
to
pair
just
is
add more
the
cloth to
wife.
what is already there. Do not use a tourniquet. If one
Guy
is
has
already on,
no-
don't remove it, and don't throw or flush any blood-soaked items, okay? And sir, I need you not to touch the weapons or disturb the scene at all, and don't touch or remove any impaled object, okay? Sir, hello? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Marley.
Okay. Are you the one that was injured?
See, no.
She's not responding.
No, it's not anymore. He's living.
Okay. Can you tell me how her breathing is?
I have home cooked building.
She's heart's still beating. She's
Okay.
still breathing.
Her heart
Okay.
is still
Just
beating.
keep applying pressure to where she's bleeding from and just put her on her side, okay?
On her side?
Yeah, on her side. You said she's breathing normally, she's just not responding to you?
She's got a very big hole in her neck.
Very big hole in her neck.
Okay. Just keep applying pressure, okay? Just keep adding more cloth that's already there. And who am I speaking to? Who are you, dear? Are you...
Good work.
Okay, so who's the person, where's the person that's bleeding? Where are they in the house?
They're upstairs.
Okay.
In the bedroom.
Okay, and where is the person that was shot? Are they also in the house downstairs?
Yes.
Yeah, in the bedroom too.
He says yes, they're downstairs. She says yes in the
Okay.
bedroom too.
Okay. Yeah, they're on the way. They're coming to you now, lights and sirens, okay? And any weapon is secured, correct?
Again,
Any weapon is secured?
I have the weapon.
Okay, can you just leave it where it is?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you don't know the individual that was shot?
No, I don't
No,
know.
whenever things are.
Never seen
the
it.
person.
They don't mention that he brought in rope
And sir,
and
where are
chain
you? Are
and
you
restraints.
taking care of the person upstairs?
I'm trying.
It's fine, but
Okay.
it's just kill him.
Okay, I have officers that are pulling up outside, okay? So just make sure the weapon is put police where,
Okay, so I mean, let me get back so I can see what some of you are saying about this stuff. What a way to set up a man. Yeah, absolutely. DNA and a knife under what they will find. Well, here's the thing though, B Lady Apiary, they have made a deal with Juliana. Okay, let me finish going through this and then you'll see they made a deal with the devil to get a deal which is probably unheard of, that it's for time served, just crazy. But let me go back to my notes over here. So then we went to the 911 call, and then the defense after that got up there, right? And they said, the story the Commonwealth just told you. Oh, and let me tell you that this is the same judge as in Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. Okay? Okay. The story the Commonwealth just told you, I want to tell you what you should look for in the evidence. Look at the timelines. This is the defense now, okay? The murders of Christine, and he says Joe Banfield. Here's what he says, Joe Banfield, instead of Joe Ryan, right? Okay. Then it says Juliana was arrested and held for 1 year before she made the statements that the Commonwealth just told you. Now, what they're saying is that Juliana was arrested prior, okay? And apparently, I guess they have phone calls from jail and stuff where Juliana is saying that, well, let's say it says because they were giving her this deal. You're going to hear a timeline of events and evidence when she was arrested in October of 2023. And the whole reason was to have her flip against my client, and you will hear that. And they tried, and they tried, and they tried, he said, and he said, she said on these calls, I guess, they want you, and all they want is to get you in this case, and they want me to say things that are not true. They offered me a misdemeanor, and she declined that. Then they wanted him so bad, they kept offering her things, they said. And there were at least 4 or 5 times before he was charged where they offered her different deals. Now, why wouldn't she have taken that, they said, if that was the truth. She said, they are asking me to say things that aren't true. And then after she was arrested, she had a preliminary hearing, and they said, you're going to see where she had all this anxiety of what was going to happen. And so their whole thing is that, no, they just worked her and worked her and worked her, and everything she's saying here is completely fabricated by the prosecution in order to get his client. So that is the defense opening statement. So then today, okay, amongst the 911 call being played and the dispatcher there and the medical examiner saying that she had, how did they say it, rapidly fatal wounds of her neck. Christine did, okay? But then the au pair took the stand. Now, the au pair's testimony is not finished. It will continue tomorrow. I don't even think the direct finished. So, yeah, you're going to want to tune in for that, okay? And let's see. Let me see. Hi there, Two Scooter. Two Scooter, do you see us on 2 streams, a horizontal and a vertical? There's supposed to be a vertical one in my shorts feed. I don't know. It looks like it's there. Hi, Marianne Lynch. How are you? This is in Virginia. This trial is in Virginia, Marianne. Nice to see you. Okay, so let's talk about the au pair taking the stand. The au pair takes the stand. And hi to you guys, if you're on the vertical stream, I can't see you. If you want to come in and say something, you have to come into the horizontal stream. Anyway, Marianne says, hi there, B-Lady, do you know what state? It's in Virginia. It's in Virginia, hon. And the judge is the same judge for Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Hope you can hear me, Marianne. I see the regular. Okay, because I'm supposed to be, it's showing me two different screens, but I can only see one chat. Anyway, so here's the au pair takes the stand, right? So she gets on and they ask her, when did she come here? And she says 2021 in the summer. They asked her about the family. How was Christine? She said Christine was very nice. What was it like? She said, well, I had to get, used to being in the United States and get used to the family, get used to the routines, but she was there to take care of the daughter. Christine was a registered nurse and he was a federal agent with the IRS, right? And I did briefly watch today. Okay. So then they said, well, what your relationship, how was it in the beginning with Brendan? And she says, oh, it was professional. And they said, oh, it was professional. Yeah, he was your boss. Okay. And then what happened? Well, in the about a year's time, she says it became sexual. And that Brendan talked about marrying her and having children and having a life with her. And again, like I said in the beginning with the opening statements, divorce was not an option. He did not want to split custody. It was about money as well. He didn't want to lose, I guess, his money. So he was going to hire a hitman, but then again, that could come back on him. So he thought he had this great thing, right, with this FetLife website. And if you need me, I'm not going to rehash the whole thing again because she goes through that, right? They created this profile for Christine. They both typed on it. She also says that prior to the murders, that Brendan said, let's get rid of our devices, their phones, and they got new phones and things. And did anybody know about her relationship with Brendan? She said she didn't think anybody on his side or Christine's side, but she has a few friends and an Instagram account, and she was posting pictures of herself and Brendan. And I think sometimes she was putting an emoji over his face or something, but she actually has videos of them singing and stuff. It's weird. What else did she say? She went through the timeline of that day, and I pretty much covered that, like he had started to go out for breakfast, and that so that McDonald's that morning was not going to look out of the ordinary. So for weeks before this, he started that routine, leaving earlier in the morning and going out for breakfast. And then she had that fake trip to the zoo with 4.5-year-old Valerie. Excuse me. Wow. Okay, with Valerie scheduled, but they never leave. They get in the car, and she's allegedly taking some time to hook up Valerie's tablet to the Wi-Fi, and that's when she sees Joe Ryan, and that's when the whole thing unfolds. She calls Christine's phone, doesn't call the police, calls Christine's phone. Christine doesn't have her phone. It's in the kitchen in the drawer. These types of cases drive me crazy, Marianne says. How do they think they will get away with murder and would rather do this instead of legally divorce? Well, they think they're very smart, Marianne. They think they thought of something that nobody else has. They think they're the smartest person in the room. And he thought, this is really, really good. And this is, you have to admit, okay, this plan of his, he put time and effort into this. There are a lot of things that he thought about, like that I outlined earlier, right, about that they changed their devices, they created that profile for weeks, interviewed these people. What was the other thing I was saying? That there were certain things that they thought of, but then there's other things they didn't really think through. So it's interesting, but there's always like a few things they don't really think through. Like he should have probably rehearsed a little better for that 911 call, because he did not sound at all like this was a shock. He was already on defensive mode. She says, "Where is the man that was shot?" He says, "I don't know him." Okay, you see? Because he's got to say, "I don't know him." Well, how the hell? No, nobody asked you if you know him, but he's already saying that. That's like a lot of tells, and I'm pretty good at doing this. Like, you ever see someone send you an email and they're on the defensive about something, and they're already like spilling. They have like diarrhea of the mouth, and they're saying all this stuff, and you're like, why would they even be saying this? They already know that they're lying to whoever they're writing to, so then they're spilling out all this stuff to defend themselves against something, and it's like, I'll have to show you someday. I mean, it is good life skills to really understand that, so you don't get swept up into this stuff. But yeah, him saying that is just something. What the hell is he saying that for? Because she asked you, where is the guy that was shot? She didn't ask you if you knew him. But they say there's so many that we will never know about throughout history. You believe it? I think maybe more so, Scooter, before they had all this technology. Now with this technology, yeah. Oh, that's right. They were using Telegram, which I believe is like encrypted, kind of like WhatsApp. And what's the other encrypted messenger service that Sim and Tilly was using with her lover? Remember, they had everything encrypted. It was another one. But they were using Telegram, this encrypted service, to send messages to each other and stuff. And for some reason, he didn't want the au pair to tell Christine about the plans about the zoo in any type of text or anything. He wanted her to do it in person. I don't know why I had that one. No, I'm choking. I need to drink, I think. Let me see. So, trying to think if that's where they ended it today. So she went over this whole thing. She had blood on her hands. She had blood on his sock. She was out there when the police came, and obviously when the police came, she was shook up. I mean, she did see 2 people murdered. That would shake anybody up, right? So she really was shook up. I will tell you that the au pair, okay. If you see the pictures of her, it's not that she was gorgeous or anything, okay? But she didn't have big Coke bottle glasses. She had blondish, bleach blonde hair because she had real dark brown roots. But if you see there's one picture of her where she's got a lot of makeup on. But then in the other pictures, I guess they're the mugshots and stuff, she doesn't look that different than she looked today. But today she has the dark brown hair, a very like, I don't know, it looks like she's wearing a bed sheet as a shirt. And she's got like Coke bottle glasses. And so I think they purposely have tried to make her look like that and look, naive and taken advantage of by this guy, right? So, yeah, they struck this deal with her that she's just going to get off with time served for this. Think about it, though. Before records were kept, people have always been crazy. Yeah, people have always been crazy. People have always been crazy. Anyway, somebody just said that to me on the phone today. Was it Binky? That people are crazier today? I don't know. Now I just had something else I was going to say. There's like a couple things I was thinking about that they thought of, and I said that was good, but then they forgot other things. So I don't know, he kind of looks like a little bit like a young Chevy Chase, but with dark hair. Like when Chevy Chase was at his youngest and kind of nerdiest, that's what he kind of looks like. But his attempts at like crying at the 911 call, and then he was terrible at that night on the 911 call. He didn't sound he had any concern for his wife. Did that guy sound at all concerned for his wife's life? No. He didn't even mention that this guy brought in ropes and chains and was trying to R his wife or anything like that on the call, which was interesting, right? So that is going to continue tomorrow. They stopped the testimony with her. It's going to continue tomorrow. I don't even think the direct is completely done. And then there'll be the cross and then a redirect. And I'm not sure how. They said that this trial was going to go on for a long time, didn't they? Did they say this one was going to? I don't see how much longer this trial really needs to go on. I'm trying to. No, it was Caneiro's trial that's going to be till March. I think they could, after her, I think they could probably wrap up and get a verdict. Seriously, I don't, this could wrap up this week, but I don't know how, I think they might have said 2 weeks. But I think this will wrap up by next week. Really. I don't know. It's just, how much more, but really I don't know. A lot of the pictures, a lot of the messages they can't show to the public. They're for just the jury and the witness. And so that's all that. And then, like I said, with Caneiro, I was watching today, but it was a lot like with TD Bank and things that were overdrafts and just about him and his financial fraud. And that's going to be a long time, that Caneiro trial. So they're going to have to go through this very tedious and kind of boring financial stuff. And it's kind of losing a lot of people, but it'll come back. And where can we see? Go to Marianne, go to Law and Crime or Court TV. And you should be able to see it there. So, you can go back and see this, and you should watch the testimony so that you understand this. You should watch it. And then tomorrow, Caneiro will be going on, and so will this one, and I'll be dividing my time between them. My one son is going back to school tomorrow, so I'll get him off in the morning on that and make sure he's all packed and ready to go. And that's why we were going around today and stuff, getting his truck serviced and all that. And then my attention will be on. I'm sure my attention is probably going to be more on the au pair trial because it's going to have more. 2 lives lost doesn't look good. No, right. 2 lives lost, right? Because and look, look what he wanted. He didn't want Valerie, the little daughter, right? He didn't want to split any time. So now look what he did. He took away Valerie's mother and he took away Valerie's father, and now this is better. So, what the hell?
how is the au pair involved? I already went through that all. You missed it, but she's involved because she started having a sexual relationship with him, and then he bought her a gun. He took her to the shooting range and showed her how to shoot the gun. They both created a fake profile that was supposed to be the wife on a fetish site. And then with that profile, they started to contact people on that fetish site to get somebody that would come to the house with chain and ropes and zip ties and a knife and allegedly do an R scene, saying that she was into that type of thing, okay? And it was hard to get somebody into that because they were saying, well, I think we should meet first. But they finally found this guy, Joe Ryan, and he said he would do it. And so they both were involved in this plot. And then the day that this guy, Joe Ryan, went to the house, she was the one that stood outside in the car with the daughter. And as soon as Joe Ryan went into the house, she called Christine. Oh, that was the thing I was saying, yeah, that they looked to make sure, to make it look like she's trying to call Christine because Christine's in the house, but then she doesn't call the police. She calls then the boyfriend and the husband of Christine, who's at the McDonald's. He comes back. They go in through the basement, leave the 4-year-old daughter in the basement. They go up to the bedroom, flip open the door. He shoots Joe Ryan, and then he tells the au pair to shoot Joe Ryan. So they both shoot him with 2 different guns. And then he goes and stabs the wife, trying to make it look like Joe Ryan stabbed the wife in this crazy thing, okay? And my question is, I wonder, were they trying to keep the fetish stuff covered up? But that would be stupid, because even if they got rid of her devices, his devices would be there with his messages. So they just wanted him to, like, he just flipped when he got into this fetish thing and then instead just stabbed the crap out of her and killed her. So, and then he was trying to, he's saying, save his wife. So then he and then the au pair, who just has her gun on her, both shoot him. And so that's what's going on, okay? And then, if they didn't arrest either one of them at first, okay, they then went back to the house like 8 months later, and they saw on the nightstand a picture, which I showed yesterday, of the husband, the IRS agent, right? Listen to this one, Scooter, and the au pair, in a hug. And that's, after that, they said, oh, wait a second, something else going on here, right? And I'm not sure, that hasn't been that clear about her being tied up already. They didn't really elaborate so much on that, but you would think she would have been. I almost wonder if he had stabbed and killed the wife earlier that morning so that she didn't get up and leave, that she didn't get out of that bed. I often wonder, because or drugged her or something, you know what I mean? Because you would think that she would be fighting this off or something, right? And we're not hearing about that. So, I don't know. I'm wondering if something was done to the wife before, but anyway. the au pair scooter, when she was arrested, the defense said there are phone calls and they're going to play them where she's saying, oh, they want me, the prosecution wants me to turn on you and say things that aren't true and all this stuff, and I'm not going to do it. They want me to say that you were involved and you weren't and we weren't, And this went on for like a year. And then the defense says after they worked on her, they finally got her to become a state's witness, even though they at first gave her a misdemeanor deal. And the defense said she didn't take a misdemeanor deal. And then she eventually took a manslaughter deal, which they said is just like unheard of, that they're going to give her time served for this. And apparently Joseph Ryan's family is really upset, but it's one of those, they got to make a deal with the devil to get the guy. So that's what this is all about now. She's going to get off now. As soon as she does this, she's done. That's her deal. So, yeah. So I am going to be juggling both trials tomorrow, but I'm going to tell you that it's going to be, my attention's going to be here on watching the rest of this au pair and stuff, because I know Caneiro is probably still going to be going over financial stuff, which they have to do, but she's 25 years old now. She's 25. No, listen to me, B-Lady Apiary, she's getting off. She got a deal. They cut her the deal because she is turning on him and giving the state the evidence that they need, her testimony. She's getting off for time served. That's it. Well, I think she's going back to Brazil, B-Lady. So she's probably not going to go into the, I don't think she's going to be an au pair anymore in the United States for sure. She's going back to Brazil, but probably nobody in Brazil even knows. She's turning against, yeah, but she doesn't, it's, I think that love affair is long gone. Yeah. But I think that's long over. Long over. So, yeah, but now they have her there with these like Coke bottle glasses and this sheet for a shirt. Okay, I can understand they're giving her a plea deal because he is the mastermind. He was the mastermind. Yeah, Marianne, they have to do that sometimes, and they know they're making a deal with the devil, right? They had to do it in the Patrick Frazee case. They've had to do it in other cases. Oh, she'll be on Easy Street then. Yeah, well, she's getting out. But I'll tell you, it's very hard to watch her testimony, because I don't know if she's trying, like, you'll see it's every time they ask her something, she does this weird thing with her mouth. And, I don't know what, she does something weird and she goes, can you ask that another way? Can you ask that in another way? You couldn't hear me? And then but then something slipped out of her during this testimony, because the prosecutor said something like, I didn't hear that or something. She was like, oh, you couldn't hear me? And you see it, and it changed. It doesn't sound like what she normally sounds like. She sounded snippy and arrogant. And she goes something like, oh, you couldn't hear me? And I said, oh, that sounds like the real you. Let's see. What did you say there? Hang on. Let me see, B lady. You said so. Hold on a second. If she stuck to the plan, they would both get off. Maybe, but maybe they'd both be convicted. But the prosecution wanted her, her testimony is what's doing this, right? Is what they needed. Because I think a lot of the stuff they did on Telegram, where it was encrypted and they don't have that. She even changed, that's the other thing. They not only got new phones and everything, she changed her Apple IDs and everything. I didn't know if it was her. I saw the chat mentioning something about a mouth. Oh, I don't know. It's just weird. You'll see it, Scooter, especially you. You're always looking at stuff like that. She does this thing, and it's, I don't know. It could be a nervous thing. I don't know what it is. But, then it reminds me of this short I saw today. This older lady was reading a book, and it said, she smiled with her lower teeth. And then this lady tries to do this in the short. It was so funny. I started laughing out loud in the dealership, and I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this should be a lesson to other married men. Don't mess around with these young ladies. Oh boy, there's so many lessons if they haven't learned that by now, right? And yeah. Or, it's not even that. If that's what you want, then end your marriage, right? Then he should have ended his marriage if that's what he wants. You're not going to get all the money and all the visitation with your child. There's going to have to be a trade-off. And don't think that you can murder your spouse and get what you want. So if you want to go with somebody else, get a divorce. As a matter of course. Right? Don't go thinking that you're the smartest person and you're going to take not only your spouse's life, the mother of your child's life, but you're going to lure some unsuspecting man to the house and kill him too? And then frame him for the murder? Frame that guy for the murder? He must have thought he was the smartest thing, the sharpest tool in the shed and the brightest crayon in the box. He was probably patting himself like, wow, I'm going to write a book, How to Get Away with Murder with this plan. It's foolproof. But yeah, no, not so much. Not so much. Wasn't so foolproof. So then, and again, if you're watching us on the Shorts feed, let me see if the Shorts feed is still going up. Because I don't know if the Shorts feed just goes up for a while or it stays up for a long time. Let me see. It might stop after a while because I think it finally did. I think it goes up for a little bit of time. Let me see. It's weird. We'll have to see how that works. I don't know. Strange. It was strange. But I can't find the, the what do you call it? Oh, here. Okay. Let me go over here and see. Dual stream, automatically generated, it says a vertical cropped version for the Shorts feed. Okay, here's what it says. Let me see about how long it lasts. Stream in both horizontal and vertical formats. We're rolling out a setting that allows creators to go live both horizontal and vertical at the same time. Turning on the setting creates a vertical crop of the horizontal live stream that shows up in the Shorts feed. Oh, the update gradually roll out for all creators in the next few weeks with more cropping options and third-party encoder compatibility for vertical layouts to come in future updates. But they don't tell us, because Shorts are only allowed to be a certain length, so I wonder if it just it does it to the maximum length and then it stops. I don't know. But we'll see. What did Two Scooters say? At the time, they don't think with their head. Well, you know what I want. Yeah, I know. The other head. Right. Got you. All right. So, let's see. You don't care for vertical? No, it's just something though, Scooter. It's supposed to, I guess, generate increase, like some people that are in the Shorts feed, maybe if they see the content, they will come to the horizontal feed. I think that's what it's supposed to do. Build it and they will come. Okay. Now, the last thing that we're going to talk about is, I kind of talked about it in the beginning as McKee, but we're going to go over his lawsuit. Let me see where I think I have that out right here. Let me see here. Okay. So he was named in an amended complaint that was filed September 29th of 2025. Now, a man filed this because he allegedly required emergency surgery after an 8-inch catheter broke off in his leg. Yikes. So 3 months before the murders of Monique and Spencer Tepe, the doctor charged with the murder of the couple was sued for medical malpractice. He allegedly was overseeing a botched surgery at Las Vegas Surgical Associates, during which an 8.6-inch catheter shard broke off in a patient's leg. And this copy was obtained of the amended complaint that was filed in Clark County Court. The amended complaint filed September 29, 2025, and the patient's lawyer spent over a month trying to track Dr. Michael McKee down with no luck. At one point, the process server tasked with delivering the complaint to McKee spoke with one of his co-workers about his whereabouts, according to a declaration of due diligence filed in the case, and they were told he just disappeared. His location is no longer a secret, right? On January 10th, he was booked into the Winnebago County Jail to await extradition to Ohio, where he's expected to be charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder with premeditation in the deaths of his ex-wife Monique and her dentist husband Spencer. Okay, he was arrested almost 2 weeks after their murders. They happened December 30th in their Columbus, Ohio home, while their 2 children were in another room, 1 and 4, and the family dog. Let's see. Trying to see. So the police tracked McKee to Rockford, and that's about 450 miles away from Columbus, Ohio. He was working at OSF, St. Anthony Medical Center, and he took that job after he left Las Vegas and moved to Chicago. That move happened sometime after May of 2024, which is when the malpractice lawsuit was first filed. Okay, so it was amended and refiled in September, but it was first filed in May of 2024. And it was filed against McKee's Las Vegas employer at the time of the first filing. The Illinois state medical records show that McKee has been licensed to practice in this state starting October 2024, and just this past July, he purchased apartments. Then in September, McKee was named in that amended complaint. The complaint alleges that the failure of Michael David McKee, MD, to properly train or supervise his coworker caused the catheter or the device to shear or fracture, leaving an 8.6-inch portion of the device in the plaintiff's body. It goes on to claim that the plaintiff suffered numerous adverse things because McKee allegedly, he breached the standard of care, including lower extremity bleeding, edema, pain, discoloration, disfigurement, and other injuries. On October 9th, McKee's coworker told the process server that the vascular surgeon had just disappeared. And on November 10th, the plaintiff's lawyer filed a motion asking the judge that he be able to serve McKee via publication. The judge delayed hearing arguments on that motion, which would have allowed the plaintiff to identify McKee as being a defendant in the complaint in a legal journal in lieu of physically serving him and the legal document multiple times before finally approving the motion on January 6, 2026, just 4 days before McKee's arrest. As of now, the case is set to go to trial on July of 2027 with McKee as one of the defendants, which it probably won't go to trial. Their malpractice insurance will just settle that. The plaintiff is seeking damages totaling $50,000, which is not a lot. They have a lot of, their insurance will handle that, right? And because neither Nevada or Illinois requires doctors, that's interesting. Wow, it says Nevada and Illinois do not require doctors to be insured for medical malpractice. That's a risky thing. It's unclear if McKee would be covered if convicted or be forced to pay out of pocket. He will next appear in Franklin County Court as early as next week, when he's expected to be arraigned on the 2 counts of murder. Still a mystery why he killed his ex-wife and her husband, but more details are expected to be revealed once he makes his first court appearance in that Ohio courtroom. So let's see. And people are saying, like, he didn't sound like he just disappeared. It says he moved to Chicago and was working for a hospital, a job relocation that someone wasn't aware of doesn't mean the doctor disappeared. So, yeah, he's having people taken up. So anyway, that's that. Let's see. Ouch, that does sound painful, doesn't it, Lady Avery? Ugh. A shard. A shard. Yeah. What are you saying about it's not feasible? Hold on a minute. She could have a language barrier. Yeah, definitely. I mean, she could speak English. Yeah, I'm sure she has some issues, but I think maybe she played it up a little bit. Look at Michelle Triconis, right? She played that up when she suddenly needed a translator and everything in court. Okay, let's see. Let's see, what did you say? I got you. What about being feasible? Hold on, you said something being feasible. At the time, they don't think, oh, but it's not feasible. Oh, right, for the chat, yeah, feasible. Feasible So, yeah, we have all that going on. How's that? And now, what else do we have going on? Now, I guess they have what? A lot of protests going on. Iran, Minnesota. I see a lot of live streams on that, right? A lot of unrest. And so we'll see. And then we have a lot of colder weather coming in. Today wasn't so cold, but then, of course, there's going to be another Arctic blast coming. So we have that to look forward to. Let's see what else is going on. I can't believe, I thought I saw something about that Arkansas doctor's wife and twins who were murdered. I thought I saw there was an update on that. So I don't know. I'm going to check that out. But also, how come that Anna Kepner, they still have not arrested anybody in her murder yet? Isn't that crazy? And there's another one that's taking a really long time. But let's see what else is going on here. Oh, let's see. Jackson Brown, they say his son's cause of death was released. He lost his son at 52. When was it? Was it right after Christmas? No, November 25th. Los Angeles County, let me put this up here. So it said the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner confirmed on Tuesday, January 13th, that Ethan died at the age of 52 from the effects of fentanyl, methamphetamine, and lidocaine. His death was determined to be accidental. Jackson Brown confirmed his son's passing in a previous Instagram statement late last year that read, "It is with deep sorrow that we share that on the morning of November 25th, 2025, Ethan Brown, the son of Jackson Brown and Phyllis Major, was found unresponsive in his home and has passed away. We ask for privacy and respect for the family during this difficult time." Oh, that's very sad. Born November 2nd, 1973, Ethan was raised in Los Angeles. He worked as a model, and he appeared in the 95 crime thriller Hackers. He was featured in an episode of the TV series Birds of Prey, and he had a small role in the 2004 rom-com Raising Helen. He launched a record label, Spinside Records, with the multi-instrumental Kat Colbert to form Elaine Zane. The duo released their debut album Right Before Your Eyes in 2022 via the label. Just 6 months after his birth, Ethan appeared in his father's arms on the cover of Rolling Stone. In the accompanying story, Brown discussed his then burgeoning career and new fatherhood. "I wanted a baby because I wanted to be a baby." He said, "I play with Ethan all the time, and there's something pure about it. Look at all those expressions he's got. He's a real kick in the ass." Okay, let's see what else we have here.
What did she do? She lured toddler's dad to his death? Wow. Jennifer Lawrence, hold on a minute. What does she want to do? She wants to obliterate every dog after her son was bitten. Uh-oh, all of our dogs are going to be taken because her son was bitten. Everybody hide your dogs. She's coming after the dogs. She's ignited a fierce debate about parenting pets and public language after revealing that a dog bit her young son and admitting she now feels an almost apocalyptic hostility towards dogs. She described seeing canines as a threat and said part of her wanted to obliterate every dog ever after the incident. And that remark has collided head-on with her image as a relatable, animal-loving star. It's a swift fallout now, with critics accusing her of cruelty and hypocrisy for rehoming the dog that bit her child, while supporters argue she is voicing a raw, protective instinct that many parents recognize. Controversy is unfolding just as she promotes her new project and steps back into the spotlight as a working mother. She's spoken candidly about how becoming a mother to her son, Cy, reshaped her sense of risk, explaining that once a dog bit him, she began to see every canine as a potential danger. In a conversation tied to her film work, she says feelings shifted so dramatically that she now views dogs as a threat, a stark contrast to the playful public persona that once made her a favorite on the red carpet. So what kind of dog bit her son anyway? It was her dog, right, that bit her son? Yeah, okay. The dog's name is Pippi. What kind of dog was Pippi? Beyond the rhetoric, Jennifer Lawrence also revealed that she rehomed the dog that bit Cy, a pet identified as Pippi, explaining that what began as a manageable situation became so scary once her child was involved. She said the animal is still alive and now lives with her parents, a detail that emerged in reporting on how she weighed her loyalty to a longtime companion against her responsibility as a mother. Okay, but I wonder what kind of dog Pippi is. Does anybody know? And how badly was her son bitten? I don't know. Pippi. Pippi sounds like a little dog, doesn't Pippi? She described her parents as devoted animal lovers who were very happy to take Pippi. I don't know. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. One dead and at least 35 injured after a meteo tsunami wipes through beaches in Argentina. A rare shark attack saw a woman consumed head first as her husband was held back. That's scary. What? Where was that? Doesn't sound like it was in the U.S. Let me see. South Australia. Yeah, sharks are bad there. But that happened in, why are they talking? That happened in 1985. There must be a slow, slow news day. Let's see what else we have.
Nick Reiner's former attorney doubles down after quitting the case. What is he doubling down on? What is Alan Jackson doubling down on? Let's see what Alan Jackson's doubling down on. Let's get him up there so we know we're talking about Alan Jackson. Right there. He is standing firm on his courthouse remarks, declaring Nick Reiner's not guilty, even after stepping away from the case. After withdrawing from representing the youngest son of filmmaker Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner, Jackson is doubling down on his statement. You gave an endorsement and a resignation at the same time, Billy Bush said during an exchange with Jackson on Hot Mike's podcast, and Jackson didn't disagree or soften his stance. He says, it was important for me to right some wrongs that have been printed. Lots and lots of speculation, lots of people who want to believe certain things, he said. So with that statement, that's as far as I'm going to go. I believe in it. I believe exactly what I said. What I said is the truth. Under the laws of the state of California, he's not guilty. And it was important for me to make sure that the public understood that I had to step away. Okay, he formally withdrew from the case on January 7th, and now Reiner is represented by a public defender. His next court date, February 23rd. And then Bush continued to press Alan Jackson, saying, so the big question everybody's wanting to know the answer to is, why'd you step away? And he remained tight-lipped, Jackson, that is, about the specifics. He said that's a confidential communication between a lot of folks that I'm not willing to disclose. As conversation continued, Bush suggested that Jackson appeared visibly conflicted at that moment during the interview, raised the possibility that something had gone wrong behind the scenes. And then Jackson said, look, I know you well enough to know when you're pissed off. And oh no, this is Bush. Look, I know you well enough that you are pissed off, and I'm looking at your body language. You're emphatic in your support of Nick, and that he's not guilty in this situation. But I also see that you're not happy. So what? Well, something happened with the retainer or something. Is it a money thing? And then Jackson immediately pushed back, says, I mean, you can't say that. You can't say that, Billy. But he can. You can't say that something happened with the retainer because I've never said that. No, you never did, but you stepped down. And come on. Let's see. Jackson acknowledged only that circumstances changed without elaboration. And so obviously something happened with my ability and my team's ability to continue the representation, but I don't want you, your audience, anybody else to start speculating as to what that might be. I've not said a word about it. Yeah, and that's why it's pretty obvious. Okay. And then Bush says, I get it, but by the same token, I'm saying that doesn't matter at this point. I said what I said at the press conference. Oh, no, this is him. I said what I said at the press conference because it's true, and I believe it in my heart. And I also said that my team and I will remain completely committed to the best interests of Nick Reiner. That's also true. That's not going to change, but I'm not going to be able to get into specifics of why it was necessary for me to withdraw. You really don't have to, Mr. Jackson. Okay. Let's see if he said anything else to him. Did Bush say anything else to him? No, that was it. So, yeah. Okay, what else we got? What else do we have here? What's this Amber Alert in Missouri? Did they find those kids? Let's see.
Police find missing 11-year-old girl who walked away from Northwest Oklahoma home. Man stabbed in the stomach in Times Square McDonald's. Thanks. Police in South Carolina are searching for a teen girl not seen in a week. I heard that Jody Hildebrandt has a new mugshot, apparently. Jody Hildebrandt. And then I did watch that new documentary. It's I don't know, it's not that. All right, let's see what's going on here. Michigan man worked at Ruby Tuesdays. Missing Washington girl, 15, hasn't been seen in weeks. Chocolate bars sold nationwide called for possible contamination. What's that about? Let's see that. That's what kind of chocolate? Chocolate, where's it sold? Where was it sold? Mint leaf. Hold on. The affected chocolate bars were available for purchase online and at stores nationwide since September 15th of 2025. And they were sold in teal outer packaging and marked. People ate them already, guys. This is what they look like. And it was date sweetened chocolate, so it's probably the reason. No. This spring mulberry. So if that's hiding around in your house, customers who have the affected products are urged to throw them away. They might have salmonella in them. Oh, Kiefer Sutherland was arrested. Did you guys hear that? I heard that right before I came on here. One of my favorite movies of his is The Vanishing. It's so creeptastic with Sandra Bullock. Have you guys ever seen that? Wait, is it Kiefer Sutherland? Yeah, that's in that. I always get him mixed up with the other guy. And has that other guy, that other brother. What? Oh my gosh, the brother he played. One of them played in Starman. What the heck is their name? Oh my gosh, Bridges. What the heck is his first name? What's Bridges' first name? John? What is it? I think it's the same one that played in Jagged Edge. That's a good movie too, right? Okay, and then all of a sudden you get all upset for her, even though you're like, oh my gosh, hurry up! And even though she it's so weird. Okay, anyway, he was arrested early on Monday morning after he allegedly assaulted a rideshare driver. He's 59. I thought he was older than that. And he was arrested on suspicion of criminal threats in Hollywood after they received reports about 12:15 a.m. that a driver had been assaulted near Sunset Boulevard and Fairfax Avenue. The investigation determined that the suspect, later identified as Kiefer Sutherland, entered a rideshare vehicle, physically assaulted the driver, and then he made criminal threats toward the victim. He was arrested at the scene of the incident. He was booked into the LAPD jail. He was released on $50,000 bail, and he's scheduled to appear in court on February 2nd.
The driver did not receive any injuries that required medical assistance. LAPD and the department is still investigating the incidents, but this isn't the first time that Sutherland has run afoul of the law. He was arrested for drunk driving in both 2004 and 2007, and the 2007 stint landed him in jail for 48 days. He was also charged with an assault in 2009 after he reportedly head-butted Jack McCullough, a designer, in the hours after that year's Met Gala. Wow. The charges against him were dropped after he and McCullough worked out their issues privately. Yeah, with a cash settlement. Okay, allegedly, in my opinion. I'm sorry about what happened that night and sincerely regret that Mr. McCullough was injured, Sutherland said in a joint statement he released with McCullough. In the same statement, McCullough said, I appreciate Mr. Sutherland's statement and I wish him well. Thanks for the money, allegedly, in my opinion. His last arrest was in 2020 for allegedly driving under the influence after police say he made an illegal U-turn in Hollywood. Okay, all right. He has won an Emmy and a Golden Globe for his role in 24. Okay, now, let's see here. What else do we have? What else is going on? Courtney Thorne Smith has settled her divorce. State police. Okay, let's see here. Winter storm warning as about 8 inches of snow is getting ready to strike. I don't know where. Fugees producer John Forte found dead in Massachusetts at 50. What is the Fugees? Is that a band? Georgia woman was killed in a house fire set by a man killed in police chase, was getting abused. What? Winter storm warnings announced for 11 states as 10 inches of snow and 60-mile-per-hour winds are expected. Let's see. Probably us. We're on that line. Let's see what's going on. Let's get rid of that graphic and put another one so we know we're on to weather. Doing it all here on this. Let's see, and there's my lullaby. The National Weather Service, my lullaby comes a lot earlier now. And I didn't do it that way. I must just know I go to bed earlier. Issued a number of winter storm warnings for a strong cold front that is expected to bring in significant snowfall and strong winds. Okay, here's what's happening. The strong cold front will bring favorable conditions for lake effect snow, downwind of the Great Lakes, that's for you, Scooter, right? Winter weather advisories are active downwind of Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie for Wednesday into Thursday morning. The state of Michigan recently received a strong winter storm that dropped several feet of snow on the Upper Peninsula, but winter's just beginning. Don't say that. There's also a winter storm warning on the downwind side of Michigan for portions of far northwest Indiana, southwest Michigan, as travel conditions will be hazardous due to forecast of 6 to 8 inches of snow Go storm chasing, Scooter, with wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Alaska could see 60-mile-per-hour winds. And let's see, 9 other states under winter weather advisories. Indiana. Lake effect snow is expected to hit northern Indiana with total snow accumulations between 2 to 6 inches. The highest amounts will fall in western Cass County, and winds could be as high as 35 miles per hour. Illinois. Much of the same expected for Illinois. Okay. Maryland. A strong cold front is expected to cross the area late Wednesday afternoon, bringing up to 2 to 3 inches of snow with it. Oh, I hope Ethan gets up to school quickly. Precipitation may mix with snow near 4,000 feet elevation. Minnesota, additional snow accumulations. New York, the Buffalo office of the National Weather Service has been busy over the past week. Heavy lake effect snow to pour down in the region. Where were we going? The National Weather Service has now called for new snow total accumulations to 5 to 10 inches. Snow beginning on the Tug Hill Plateau Wednesday, while lower elevations mix with rain. Okay, through northern Oswego County. Ohio. Pennsylvania. Warren, Pennsylvania was warned to prepare for slippery road conditions, hazardous conditions, could impact the Wednesday evening, Thursday morning commutes. Tennessee, Smoky Mountains, 2 to 4 inches. West Virginia, see up to 6 inches. So be careful, folks. Be careful. Okay. Don't say we didn't warn you. We didn't warn you, because we did. See what else we have. All right, let's see here. What is this? Okay, I'm just trying to say, Scott Adams, Disgrace Dilbert creator? What do you mean Disgrace Dilbert? Isn't that a cartoon? I'm out of the loop a little bit, I guess. Now, what is this? We've got some more Tepe news coming in. Let's see. Let's see what this says. Spencer and Monique's brother-in-law shared details with NBC News about Monique's marriage. Now, let's see. There we got a name, so that's a little trustworthy. She was terrified because he had threatened her life on multiple occasions when they were married, he's saying. Okay. Tepe told him about her brief and troubled marriage to McKee. His account backed up. What did I just say? Hold on a second. Get back there. No. What'd you do? Hold on a second. Let's put up this thing. Okay, she had with her ex and just how abusive he was to her, and it affected her to this day. Now, he's saying she was abusive, but there are no DV or criminal charges against him. Allegedly, he, let's see, they abruptly divorced in 2017, it says, because Monique was so worried. Court documents cite incompatibility. He's unaware if he's made recent threats. Let me see. And any of us know that these
any of us had known that these, oh, he's saying if they had known about any of them, they would have acted differently if there were like additional threats. He says he doesn't know. Let's see. So I don't know. That's her brother, the brother-in-law speaking out. Now that is that is, it says Spencer Monique's Tepe's brother-in-law. Is it her husband's brother? I don't know which one it is, but that's who's, let's see what he's saying. The family first learned the couple had been murdered. Only one possible suspect came to mind, Monique's ex-husband. She was terrified because he had threatened her life on multiple occasions when they were married. This is what he's saying. Rob Misla sharing with NBC. TB told him about his brief marriage, and that was backed up by talking to people about traumatic experience. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what'll happen that she had with her ex, but he doesn't know of anything happening recently. Apparently he was abusive to her and it affected her to this day. I don't know, but we'll see, right? Maybe more will come out as they get closer to court. Hi, Pet Nanny Nancy. How are you? Hi, Jen Grill. How are you? Scooter will be on her snowmobile? Maybe. Let me see over here if I do something over here. Hang on a minute. Stop. Let me see something. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, so here's some more stuff. Let me just get a different graphic up there, okay? Hang on one second. So that we know where we are. Hold on, hold on. Trying to get this to go through here. Oh my goodness, what am I doing here? What am I doing? Hang on a minute, guys. I'll be right there. I'm working away here, but the hamsters are running slow tonight. Because it's cold. All right, so here we go. Let's put this up so we know that what we're talking about. It's always a good thing to do. I'll make this a little larger and I'll pull this over and then I'll tell you what the scoop is. There we go. Okay. So, let me go over here. On Saturday night, after the arrest, Spencer's cousin, Nikki Forte, sent a statement to WLWT
recalling what he was like in life. And she said, since Spencer was young, she's talking now about the dentist, he was a deeply hold on, I just lost my thing here. Empathetic and caring person. He loved his family immensely. He got ordained so he could be the officiant at a family member's wedding. Spencer always wanted a family, always loved being around kids. He was always playing with his youngest cousins at family gatherings. Nikki went on to recall his memories of how Spencer interacted with her two children. My daughter would get so excited when she was a preschooler and Spencer was at the family gatherings because he was so much fun. I had PPD with my son. A core memory of that time is on Christmas that year. My son was just a few weeks old and he was excited to hold him. He was either at the end of college or starting med school. Well, dental school, doesn't she mean that? I think it was 15 years ago, but he was so cute, being so excited to hold him, and he even knew to wash his hands first. Nikki added that Monique made a great addition to their family. She said Mo was an amazing addition to our family. Her warmth and humor made her fit right in with everyone, and she was an amazing mom. I'm so relieved right now and so much anger right now. They should still be here. Okay, so that was about that. And let's see what else. I thought I saw something a moment ago. Okay, let's see. Rob Misla, the brother of Monique Tepe and brother-in-law of Spencer Tepe, spoke out following their murders, and that's who was saying that stuff before. That's who that was. Let's see. Okay. Now what is this about? Heck is this? Okay. Keep your eyes out. All right, let me go to back to just one other thing to see what else is going on if in the out here, okay? Choo. Come on.
Okay, I told you about Kiefer Sutherland, right? We talked about Alan Jackson. Talked about that malpractice of the McKee doctor. Girl 11 was allegedly found undressed in New York man's bed after the pair communicated online. Wow. Missing Washington girl hasn't been seen. Okay, let's see. Florida mom killed by her husband in Monday Night Football murder-suicide, died while protecting her children's sister. Her children's sister. What? See what this is about. Monday Night Football. Isn't this the one that... This was the one that didn't want to change the channel, right? Hang on. We'll see what this is about. Pretty sure this is the one we talked about last week or something. They wanted them to change the channel, but he didn't want to change the channel. And then it was her daughter, and I thought he killed a bunch of them. Florida woman who was killed in a murder-suicide just days before Christmas lost her life while trying to protect the lives of her 3 children. Crystal Kenny. And isn't that funny? Crystal Kenny, isn't that the name of Patrick Frazie's, that the girl that helped him clean up? 38 was shot dead by her husband, Jason Kenny, just before midnight after the two got into an argument over Monday Night Football. Jason had been watching the football game in his shed. He came inside and insisted that Crystal turn off the show she was watching so he could watch the San Francisco 49ers, her daughter previously told the media. The fight escalated. Jason shot Crystal and her 13-year-old daughter in the face before fleeing to his late father's home where he would take his own life. My sister died a hero for protecting her children and getting my nephew out of the house. Oh, right, the nephew went out of the house, right? And then, and the baby was untouched that he had with them, and then he shot. Oh, how terrible. Just wacko. People are just nuts over a freaking football game. Go back in the shed and watch it. Just come in and you tell somebody just to shut off their thing that they're watching? Crying out loud. Okay. Let's see what else. Anything else? Keanu Reeves and Alexandra Grant share a kiss in front of Rockefeller Center's Christmas tree. Isn't she? Oh, look at the two of them. So somebody thought they were getting married to Keanu Reeves. That must be crushing. I'm sorry. but he's kissing somebody else on Rockefeller Center. I'm sorry if I just blew that for you guys. I feel bad now because if that person really thinks she's getting married to Keanu Reeves and I just said that, I'm very, very sorry. Very sorry. Okay, let's see what else we have. I think that's about it, isn't it? Influencer Avery Catherine Woods breaks down in tears. Helen Mirren. Okay, let me go back to you guys, and I think maybe we're just going to do our word game. Hi, okay, good night. I'm sleepy. Yeah, me too. Yes, watch it. I'll be watching it too, okay? We'll watch it together, but in different houses. Hi, Gail. Who else came in? No sound? Who said no sound? Oh, thank you, Gail. Yeah, I don't know why our super chats don't have sound. Thank you, Gail. I love it. I love the super sticker with the coffee and the pear. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. I don't know why we're not getting a sound, but we used to get a Christmas sound. Now we're not getting any sound. That's not nice. Not nice. And how come it didn't even put you in the goal? That's not nice. And you know what else? How come it didn't put you in the goal? Gail, that's not nice either. It should register it as 1. That's not nice. Not nice. Not nice. But it is nice that you sent that. But it's not nice that it didn't put it in the goal. But we'll register it in our own heads. Thank you so much. I don't know what's up with that. That's not nice. Okay. I thought for a minute you said there was no sound. I'm like, oh no. Oh gosh, please. I've been talking for a long time. Don't tell me that there's no sound. I'll sound like a whiny baby. Not nice. Not nice. Hang on, Sloopy. Sloopy, hang on, please. Let me get my bearings straight here. I've got to get my chat windows going. Hold on, Nelly. Okay, we're going to do daily. We're going to do daily. Right? Now, where's your chat? There you are. Okay, good. Hi, UHP. Yeah, I didn't get to send you that email yet because I was out today with my son because he's going to be going back to school tomorrow. So we had to go take care of some things and we were out, but I'm going to talk to you. Hallway. Yay. Give it your all. Does anybody know if there will be an auction tomorrow? I don't know. Let me think. Maybe, baby. But we do have a lot of trial stuff. We'll have to see. Maybe, baby. We're still not back in our swing. Gotta get back in our swing. Okay. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do 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 do. All right, we did that. Where's the murder cross? Hope murder cross is doing okay. Bala. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, please. Okay. Bala. Alrighty, Heidi. Okay, so now let us see. I guess we'll play another. Let me shut all these silly tabs over here. Let me shut tabs to the right. To the right. To the right. To the right. Shut them to the right. I don't remember seeing our whole thing of December done. Now I usually like to have that done. Okay, we don't need you. We don't have to pay for anything. Let's see if we're still working on these last two words here. Logo, finally. Oh God, see it. Sometimes it's just like. And then what would this one be? Let's see. Okay, we got it. Finally, we moved to another one, huh? It's crazy. And then we were tomato, and now we've got tote. Tot. Oh gosh, I saw string beans. If you're Italian, you probably know what I mean. String beans, potatoes, and a tomato
like sauce. And my mother used to cook it, and my father in the pressure cooker. Oh my gosh, somebody had it on TikTok today, an Italian channel. I was like salivating for it. That kind of stuff I miss so much. And since my parents have been gone, it's like my brother made it and posted it, I don't know, maybe last year or something. But oh my gosh, that's something like with a crusty Italian bread. And I know you think, oh my gosh, that sounds terrible if you're not, but it's so good. And I said, oh my gosh, I have to make that. And then my cousin made it. She passed away, but I was like, my mother used to cook it in the pressure cooker, but I can cook it in the Instant Pot. I've got to make it. But it's like Jimmy doesn't understand that because he didn't grow up with that. But those of us that did, oh my gosh, I was like going out of my mind. Oh, motive. Look at that. That's perfect for a true crime, right? Motive. Meta. Meat. Right? Mate. Oh, movie. Shoot. Movie. Eat. Oat. Veto. Let's see. That. Vet. Toe. Adam. Adam. You're Adam. Move, right? Oh, tame. And time in a bottle. Well, we don't have a bottle. We have that. We already got that. Tie. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, buttons on a shirt. Yeah, tomorrow I'm looking forward to. Sorry, I was just zoning out. I was zoning out. It's been a long freaking day. What was Ethan saying that was so freaking funny? Something about zoning out. But he was he zoning out or was I zoning out? Something. Oh, I forgot to ask him about that guy scared him in the dealership, I think. Let's see here. Tam. I think I'm gonna probably give this one a whirl somewhere else. That's okay. That's okay. Oh my goodness. Vomit. Yuck. Caca. Omit, right? And then let's see. Thought I just saw fire in the sky. I saw this weirdest plane
tonight I was like screaming out the window to Ethan. He's like, I've seen it. It looked like a bar in the sky with all these different colored lights, and he's trying to tell me it's a plane, and I'm trying to tell him that is like no other plane I've ever seen, and it is not flying. It is just over that farm, and then it was gone, and I don't know. It's so weird. I've never seen anything like that. I'm going to look that up right now. Red, green, white lights in a row. Okay. Why did I just see a line of lights in the sky? Somebody said that line of lights was almost certainly SpaceX Starlink satellites. They appear as a satellite train, which looks like a string of evenly spaced lights moving across the sky before they spread out into their operational orbits. But no, these were really close together. Let me see. People report a line of lights. If you saw a row of lights moving in unison, chances you... Oh, I can't wait to tell Ethan this. Strange red, white, and green glowing lights in the sky. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Let me see. I should have taken a picture. I wonder if that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was Starlink. It might have been Starlink. Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you something too. I was watching this 24-hour. Have you seen this thing? This 24-hour Dateline, but it sucks. It sucks so bad because you can't. Doesn't have the where you can rewind, so it just keeps going on. So if you miss a name or something, or you fall asleep and you wake up and you want to hear what happened to something, you can't do it. So then you try to remember these names in your sleep, and then you don't. You remember just a few bit. I hate it. I hate it. Now I've got this guy. I believe his name was like Fred Murray. And I don't know if he like killed his wife or not. And then there was this other one. And I can't remember what it was, and you can't go back. I hate it. Tonight, if I put something on when I'm going to sleep, I'm going to be listening to that case. I'll listen to the other trial, try to catch up with the Caneiro. And then I'll get up and watch the au pair. And I'll have to switch back and forth.
Remember Tomy, Tomy, the toy company Tomy? I've done this all by myself, you guys. Aren't you impressed? Aren't I impressing you? I must be. There's over 30 of you were just sitting here watching me do this, so that's pretty impressive. Thanks for hanging. Thought I did that a long time ago, Matt, and it didn't work. That's crazy. Okay. What am I doing? That's dumb. It's not that. Well,
You motivate us to keep watching. Hey, I was wondering where you were. It's just me. You haven't been here in months and 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 months. You motivate us to keep watching. Thank you. And motivate. Very nice. Nice way to slip that in. Very nice. Where have you been? Happy New Year. How's it going? How come you haven't been around? What's going on? You don't like us? Okay, what is this one going to be? Remember that Tempty cream cheese? Do they even make that anymore? Tempty cream cheese? Tempty, wasn't that the whipped cream cheese? But then Breakstone made a whipped cream cheese too. But wasn't Tempty? I don't think it was in the pink container. Wasn't that the whole thing? It was like whipped cream cheese. The first whipped cream cheese was Tempty. Tempty, things you just think of, right? Where is Tempty cream cheese? What happened? I used to like that in the pink container. Remember, she's a vamp, a damp, and a bit of a scamp. Remember that song? She used to always do that in the Sonny and Cher show. They would come out with that little skittle. She was a vamp, a scamp, and a bit of a tramp. She was a... Remember that one? And then they would go to another skit, but like they had them all like, I don't know if they were pre-recorded or whatever they were. Happy New Year. I've been around, just busy. You've been around, just busy. I need this last word.
Yeah, this sucks to get this all except this one, last one here, right here. Man, Shevitz, what's going on? Hey, Twisted Stitches. Yeah, that's a long time back there, bub. I think you're back in the... You have to advance your video. You have to advance your video. Oh, goodness. Are we really going to leave it for this word? We're going to leave on the case of this word? Seriously, guys? Seriously? You've got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me, guys. You got to be kidding me. We got to get this. We can't be quitters on this last word. We can't. You know, Gail, do you know this one? We can't be quitters on this last one. Come on. There, we got it. Totem. Oh my gosh. 2025 was an awesome year for you, UHP. Yay, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Donation. Look at that. Nation. Dot. Dawn, we now are gay apparel. Fa la fa la fa la la. This is addictive. I get so addicted to it. It's, they're like, oh, come on, I can do it. I can do it. I published a white paper last year. I might be in trouble, ladies, called I published a white paper last year, and I might be in trouble, ladies, called Chain Reaction. Really? Why will you be in trouble, though? What's the matter? What'd you do? What'd you do? Who's going to get you in trouble? What happened? What did you do? I expect vulnerability in substations with high voltage. You exposed the vulnerability in the substations with high voltage? Oh boy. Well, well, you got to do what's right, right? Even if it's Anon. No, it was, oh gosh, I thought it was going to be Anon. Anon. There's murder of crows. Where have you been, lady? Lady, what are you doing? Where have you been? Where have you been, lady? Hey, lady. It's good to see you. Where have you been, Murder? We missed you, lady. Okay, let's see here. Onion, did you say? Did you say onion? You're right, onion. You'd be proud of me. I got the other puzzle almost all on my own, and It's Me came in and we got the top one. Oh wait, now It's Me's coming in with some stuff here. Hold on, It's Me. Okay, and what is the other one you have? Toad. Yeah. Very good. You've been busy. You've been busy. Busy, busy, busy. Busy, busy, busy. What is that? Onion? Very good, an onion. An onion. Now, what is this last one? Bookham Dano, remember that one? Bookham Dano? Din, I thought I did that. Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's not a din. I think, Ani, I think I did that. Yep, I did those. It's not there, see? Anti-disestablishment, I tried that. Oh, I didn't even know we had that one up there. It's just me. Very good. Dint? Dint? You eat all your dinner? It is dint. Very good. Look at that. Backward. Wow. And then we've got back. We've got ward. And then we've got bar. War, wad, whack, rack, Hey, hey, crows. Award. Yeah. Hey, hey. Crab. Yeah. We already have backward up there, right? Drawback. Oh, I think you're right. I think you're right. Very good. Teamwork. It makes the dream work. It makes the dream work. We haven't cheated at all. do you got? What is a what? A croon? Like a croon. It's kind of like singing a song, right? Crooning. 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 I'm crooning for you. Crooners. Crooning. Crooning. Croony. You thought it was a baby. Oh. No, it's a croon. Croon. Oh, root, yeah. Root, yes. Oh, wait about, what about coot? Did we do coots? What else you got? Roof? Yeah. Roof? Onto. Right. What do you have? Confront. Yeah. Right on. Right on. Okay, and let's see. Oh, fort. Yeah, got it. Good job. Are we almost ready for promotion or what? Where are we on? Rocks. Oh, building and build. Hold on. Now I'm seeing that.
everything good over here. Oh, you guys, you guys. Bidding. I was just thinking about that. Believe it or not. What do you got there? Idling? Idling. Very good. Bling? I think, yeah, I tried bling. I think I did. Let me see. Yeah. Guild? Very good. Yeah, I tried Bing, like Bing Cherry, it's never in these puzzles. They don't believe in Bing Cherries. They say it's not even a word. Isn't that horrible? They're bad. Dung, I think I tried dung. Let me see. Yeah. What? What do you got? Hold on, I can't see. Bung. I tried that. Murder. I tried bung. Didn't work. I just tried it. I know. Link. There it is. It's glib. You got that before murder. All right. I guess we'll just leave it here because we're going to just keep going and then never stop. Because we just can't stop with this, right? We just have to stop because we can't. We can't. We got to go to bed. We got trials in the morning and we've got all kinds of stuff coming up. Not nice. That's why you're medicated? Because you don't know when to stop? Yeah, I don't know. I can't stop. I keep saying I'm going to stop, and I haven't stopped yet. Minced. Oh, yeah. Minced. I knew you were going to get that. I got that, and I just looked at you, and you got it because you all have that minced meat and stuff, all that minced stuff. Endemic. Wow, very good. Oh, yeah, these. Very good. Inward. Very good. Oh, drawn. I got drain, you got drawn. What else can we do here? Did we do did? Okay. I really need to go to bed so bad. Did we do average here? Yeah, we did. Wind and wand. And you got wind. Somebody got raid, I saw. Okay, and then somebody got windward. Windward. Sounds like that. What was that? Willard. Oh no. Wind. Word. There we go. Okay. Oh, dawn. It's a new dawn. Darn. Rind. Oh, you got it too. We just have to get this one over here. It can't be that, so it's got to be with an A. And so easy. Okay. My arm is asleep. My hand is asleep. I have no feeling in it. There's never been one time I've tried gin and it's always worked every time, never not. Acting. Will act. Very good. Gigantic. Very good. Oh yeah, gate. Giant. Reminds me of that giant sweater that J-Bells wanted to get, a giant sweater, but she meant a Giants, New York Giants team sweater. And I'm like, how big is the person that you have to get it for? Remember that? Oh my gosh. That still makes me crack the hell up on that. A giant sweater. Why? How big is the guy? Do you have to go to the big and tall store? A giant sweater? Oh, that's so funny. I love it. I love it. I love it. You'll love it at Levitt's. I thought that was supposed to be my advancement. They're really good riding me tonight. Can't believe we're still here doing this. I cannot believe it. Now I'm going to look at your words. See, I try to get as many as I can, and then I look at yours, Almighty. God's giving us a sign here. God's helping us here. Light. Right. What else do we have? Glam. I tried that one. Myth, light. A light.
Hail. Mighty. Mighty. Remember that? That's mighty, but I'm just thinking about something else. Mighty. Mighty fine. What was that? Mighty fine. Jim. Ray. Matt. Tag. Might. You got it. We did it. I think I got an advancement. We got an advancement. What are we going to become? We're sage. We're wise. Look at that, Murder of Crows. We turned sage. That was perfect. And the perfect one. And now we've always got to do the first one of the next one, and then we can get out of here. Very good. We did a good job. We all did a great job. You guys did a really good job. Tree, tux, red, true, duet, tread, huh? Soon, huh? textured. Ah, you got it. And then texture, very good. Very good, yay. Exert. Very good. Oh, read. Very good. My hand is completely asleep. Let's see if we can just do this one, and then this will really be it. And we'll really be good. And we're sage. Rude. How rude, right? Rude and text. We did it. Thank you, Murder. Thank you for coming in. That was fun. Thank you, guys. Oh my gosh, wake up, hand. Wake up. Wake up. Remember the Wiggles? Wake up. Who was the guy that always fell asleep? Wake up. And he always made me so tired. I used to be up with the kids. I used to be so tired in the morning. Every time he went to sleep, it always made me want to go to sleep. Okay. Let's see what we got here. We got to go to bed now. We got to go to bed. Hi, Pet Nanny. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Good night, everybody. Good to see everybody. See you tomorrow. Blessings, everybody. Watch your trials tomorrow if you can. Love you. God bless. Prayers.